Now, before we continue, let's take a quick look at this unique problem. We all know that trading with minimal capital can be a pain, especially when you want to take advantage of commodities or indices with those massive movements. So that's why we've partnered with Forex Prop Firm. So they funded up to $2 million with a profit split of up to 90%. That really caught our attention. So all you need to do is complete a challenge and verification stage and get started. Now the beauty with these guys is the objectives are actually achievable. So with 4 different capital options to choose from, there is also room for growth. So get on board, check out their dashboard and trading tools offered, and quickly accelerate your trading career. Now, another thing that caught our eye is an instant funding model that is available. So you basically skip 2 sections, then immediately get funded. This means you start making some gains from the get-go. So check them out on the link on the description below and read up on them. Good day, traders. Hoping that everybody's doing well today. Let's take a look at what's happening on this last day of the month. Let's see what we can grab on the market. Feel free to drop your pairs and let's dive in. Okay, let's start with gold. Let's see where gold is leaving us. Let's see what we can take from gold. And hopefully we can get something decent with gold. Firstly, I'm just going to clear up. I don't know why this chart here was removed, but I'm going to just leave that X there. Clear up this one here. We lost the setup here. But on the daily, we do have a bit of a sensitive area here that we need to be wary of. And this is a zone that you really want to make your focus point. So something like this. So once you do look at gold from the setup, you know that there's an area where you will get a bit of movements. There's an area where you're either going to get a massive liquidity grab, or it's an area where the price will most likely going to bounce back. And because we're looking at the daily and we are tanking, of course, you want to also make sure that in the lower time frames, whichever direction you're going, for example, this 4 hour here. Okay, let me just move this to the left because this is where it failed. But before I do that, let me just remove these ones. They are invalid now. Then I'll just move this inside these charts here. It's going to be much easier to not delete. Okay, I'm just going to remove the price points and move my X in there. That was our loss. Remember, we do this for management purposes. So the past 5 trades with gold, they were not great, but we do have some nice decent moves that will probably come in. Okay, so with this one, like I just mentioned now, when you go into a setup, you want to try and make sure that as it keeps getting closer to this daily zone, you're either in the trade from a while back or you're not even touching the trade anymore. Just going to give it some time until it gives you some more clear price action. So with this one, I'll probably look at it from this point of view and refine it, of course. And can you see how far it is from the daily zone that we just marked now? So if you do get price moving back up to the zone, remember also watch the way you enter the setup, but make sure that you've got it along these lines. Okay, and then moving forward, you do have this setup over here from the daily that you can look at, and I think most probably going to get a liquidity grab and price going up to the top again, but you want to be wary of that as well. So you'll have something along these lines. One is based on the short-term hourly, and the other is based on the daily time frame. And you'll have something decent. There we go. Let's see how these play out. And remember, manage your risk very well, and you will be unstoppable. Good morning, Zwandile. Morning, Anders. Anders wants us to look at EA, and then we're going to look at GJ and AU. Okay, let's look at EA. I think those are the only pairs we'll look at. EA started at the top. Let's see where price is. See what it's doing. And then we can... Okay, on the daily we are bullish. I think we're most probably going to see price heading over to these levels over here from the daily. So if you are trading the bigger time frames, and this is one of those setups that will most probably trigger in like a couple of weeks, but yeah, you could look at the setup over here, if weeks if not days, and this is based on the long-term view, by the way. So you'll have something like that, targeting that bigger move, that bigger zone at the top there where liquidity is just laying. And then if you do look at the 4 hour, just us hopping down, trying to see where we can pick up a nice point of entry. Okay. So if you're looking at the hourly, we do have this roughly the same similar setup, but with this one you can also look at an entry point in this region over here. But we will not be focusing on that one. We'd rather jump into the hourly. So we'd move from the daily to the hourly and just see what we've got here. So we are most probably going to get a setup on this level here. So it's not far from the daily. Definitely not far from the daily. And it'll be something like this. So I'll probably put this here. So you'll decide which setup you'll be going with. And of course, the shorter time frame is the one that will most probably have more risk, but will probably trigger sooner than later. But you'll have something along these lanes for both setups. There you go. And that's how EA will be looked at. Then moving forward, GJ and AU. GJ is another very interesting pair. We did have this beautiful setup. I think this was last week. I didn't even see how it played out, but I think we shared this on the live. And if you did get this, then you probably had a very nice setup, because what hit 6R, started running. Or 7.8, so that was a very good move. So you'll have something along these lanes. And moving forward, so if you got last week's Friday's live, then you definitely got this move. And then if you hop onto the daily, so you can see where price is, and you know how you avoid all these mishaps here. Okay, nothing on the daily that we need to be worried about. The forward doesn't look that great. This one we already caught it. So the next setup that we have will probably be based on what happens in this region over here. So I think we'll just have to watch what price does here, and we'll potentially have another setup springing from this region here. So it'll look something like this. And if we refine it further, you'll have something along these regions. Let me just remove this old one here. And just going to remove this price point as well. So we'd have something along these lanes. Sorry about that. We'll have something along these lanes. And of course going up to wherever price is going to be turning at before they drop into this region. So we'll have something along these lanes. There we go. So that's how to approach GJ moving forward. Perfect. So I will post a preview of last week Friday's setup for this one here, and then yeah, how it turned out, which was brilliant. And then the last setup, AUD USD. I haven't traded this one in a minute actually. Let's start at the daily, try to see where it is. I see it now beautifully at this zone here. So we are going to get a move to the top side, and I think we missed it. How far back does it go? Definitely we are going to get a nice move to the upside. This is a very sensitive area, guys. There's a lot of liquidity, definitely a lot of liquidity, but we are going to get a nice one to the top side. So I think I'll probably focus on this candle for now, and let's see if we didn't miss it. I think we missed it, but we could always find something. And there's a lot of liquidity at the bottom, so also be wary of that grab. So we'd have something along these ranges. As you can see, price was taken from here, and this is a bit too far for us, but yeah, we definitely missed this one. But I think we're gonna get triggered here and get stopped. Well, actually, we're gonna get triggered here right now, and price will be gone actually. But I think we missed this one. We definitely missed this one. If you want to wait for price to come back into this region, you could, but you just have to be careful of this area here. So you could wait for price to come back to this region, and of course have a nice buy from that level. It'll have a big stop as well, so you could go 50% of the fibs here, and your setup would look a little something like this. But I actually wouldn't even consider taking this setup, mainly because of this area here. So yeah, that's one thing I would want to avoid. But that's it for now, guys. Happy trading, and remember to manage your risk, and let's catch up again tomorrow. Cheers, guys.